He looked at him. He was like, man, I gave that shit up years ago. Fuck.
It's like some kid some other boy he used to have gay sex with at boarding school. Came back. Hey, remember me? Oh shit, man. Listen, dude, I'm married now. That was back then.
How did you find me? Before you go to the One Man Billy show, make sure to stop in the lobby and get yourself some merch from DTmerch.com. I'm looking at your brother right here. Look, your brother got on the DT thong, man. Look at that. Your brother got all the muscles. I know he wants one of these double toasted tank tops right here that he's gonna wear for all of 2 seconds. We have.
You gotta pull it off quick.
You're gonna pull them off quick. We have the polo shirts. If that's a little too formal for you, get a jersey. Get yourself get one of these legacy shirts right here with some of the people that we've killed.
I learned something watching this movie. Winnie the Pooh is a troll. He loves to on the download just say some sarcastic shit to you, but act like he's just being completely innocent.
Oh, he know what he's doing.
He throws a lot of shade.
He knows when
all the time. He's saying like he'll just say shit. You be like, all right, okay, maybe you didn't know what you were saying just then, but after a while, you're like, man.
Yeah. You know what you're saying. Yeah. I don't care what your inflection is. You know what you're saying.
Exactly.
You know what
bother, did I? Yeah, mother, you know what you said. Shit. Yeah, bitch, you bothering me right now. That's why, you know, it's Disney's fault you're getting this one. Because now, with Winnie the Pooh, people who know of this character, I mean, if you really like a Winnie the Pooh fan, you follow the history of Winnie the Pooh, character created in 1926. You can see right here, they're the original toys that inspired the children's novels. And 1926, this was made, and this is it's considered to be one of the best-selling children's books of all time, or one of the best-selling children's books of all time. Disney said, I ain't impressed that ragged-ass bear and his mold-ass friends either. He said, you know, I don't give a fuck about Winnie the Pooh, and the thing is, I'm sure the other people out there in the world don't either. They need my Winnie the Pooh.
We gonna clean his ass up.
Yeah.
I mean, look at your kangaroo. It's just a knapsack.
Yeah.
It's a burlap sack.
Your shit is falling down, falling apart, tearing up.
Tigger ain't got no eye.
They have blind, got mange on them. You know, look at this. They need a reimagining. That's why in 1966 he came out, Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree. And that is where we got not only this version, this more stylized, some people even say more appealing version of Winnie the Pooh, but we also get it with the rest of the cast. Piglet, Roo, Kanga, we got Eeyore, and of course, Tigger in this live action version that we got coming up. They finally decide to pay some respect to the old Winnie the Pooh, the old ragged ass toys that were the inspiration for it. And what you're getting here is you're getting the look of Disney's Winnie the Pooh also combined with sort of the dirtier look of the original stuffed animals. And this time you're getting it from Christoper Robin's point of view. In fact, this is called, is it Robin? Is a Robin? It's
Robin.
Just one Robin, right? Yeah. Christoper Robin. And now you're actually getting it from his point of view because, look, that boy got to grow up someday. You got to put them damn dolls down. Be a man. But
Andy had to do it. He's got to do it.
And everybody. He said, "Look, y'all, I got to grow up, get a job. I got to get a family. Y'all.
I got bills to pay.
I got bills to pay." But Winnie the Pooh said, "You're not leaving me."
Wait, is that Winnie the Pooh or Teddy Perkins?
You'll never quit me. Bitch, I'll find you. And he does. And this newest reimagining of Winnie the Pooh with Christoper Robin.
What to do indeed. Pooh?
Fuck! I remember I saw that.
What to do indeed? Let a motherfucker know before you come over. Take a phone call.
He looked at him. He was like, man, I gave that shit up years ago. Fuck.
It's like some kid some other boy he used to have gay sex with at boarding school. Came back. Hey, remember me? Oh shit, man. Listen, dude, I'm married now. That was back then.
Yeah. How did you find me?
People say nothing is impossible, but I do nothing every day.
No, Pooh, that's not the... Oh, never mind.
It looks like Pooh's there to blackmail him. I'm back, motherfucker. Don't bother my ass.
Well, I can't get that kind of money that's fast. I'm not liquid like that.
Okay, well, I got my friends coming.
So you married that bitch, huh? You said you loved me.
This is what you left the 100-acre woods for.
If anyone wants to take a picture, now's the time.
Just embrace who you really are. Come
Just
back with me.
showing up.
Winnie the Pooh is something that I'm kind of on the fence with because I'm not against them doing the remake here because Disney has had several different versions of Winnie the Pooh. Now you think that what you see right here in this trailer, some people have been saying, oh man, I want to see this, but them animals scare the shit out of me. They look too creepy, walking around looking like demon dolls and shit. You know, something that brought to life by dark magic. But this is not the first time that Disney has done live action Winnie the Pooh. Now, you think that you think this is weird looking right here? Y'all don't remember the day back when Disney did a live action version, a TV show where they had these big creep ass animatronics.
Whoa, this I do not remember.
Oh yeah, it was called Pooh's Corner.
Yeah.
At Pooh's Corner. You remember that?
I used to watch it.
And
all
it was
the
one of
time.
those things where they weren't content enough to just have adventures out in the 100-acre wood. Apparently they had pedophiles out there and they had to tell Piglet, hey, watch out, man. There's some strange motherfuckers going through the trees.
Said, be suspicious of all strangers. Just because he's friendly doesn't mean he's a friend.
Now be careful about this. Squirrel talks about dick.
Squirrel's like, I'm not a pedophile. What the hell, man? I was here before you.
You see this motherfucker right here?
I'm just over here eating my nuts. Oh, wait a minute. No, don't take it like that.
See? I mean, it looked crazy. You see
He's
this?
doing his head
Well,
off.
especially because Winnie the Pooh is so svelte, like he's on meth or something, and then Piglet is the one who's round.
Comatose.
Yeah, he's all around and just moving around like a little C3PO.
Whatever you say, baby, just give me that shit.
You know, usually it's walking around.
Where are they, Winnie?
Whatever you say, boss.
A man propositioned me last night. Was it bad to take his money?
Oh, bother. About that show is that and other versions have always kept the simplicity of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Which means that they've always had it be Christoper Robin's imaginary friends in their own world doing their own thing. That's why I love we talked about this before. That's why I love the 2011 Winnie the Pooh that came out that we were
great.
telling it. You've seen that, right?
Oh,
yeah.
great,
Yeah. I mean, really, if you're excited for this movie, the Christoper Robin, do yourself a favor. You haven't seen it already? Watch the 2011 animated Winnie the Pooh.
Blackity blue.
I knew the pathway like the back of my hand.
You know, it was so simple, it was so sweet. It all took place in the 100-acre wood, which is the imaginary world Christoper Robin and his imaginary friends.
Well, it's a direct throwback to the 1966
Absolutely.
Cartoon.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Which again was successful because of its simplicity.
And it's brilliant.
It really is, man.
Right, they didn't fucking know 3D. They didn't try to do
Yeah.
all that other bullshit. They just went, look, we're going to just do another animated film and do it just right and perfect. And I fucking loved it, I'll be honest.
No, I did too, and I'm glad to hear that from you, Billy, because for a while, Martin and I couldn't even recommend the movie to people because we would tell them, and people were like, "What you old Negroes doing watching Winnie the Pooh?"
You know, seriously, it's one of the funniest movies to come out this year.
It really was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I used to trust you guys, but
Now I don't trust you around my kids.
I loved it. I teared up during it.
Oh no, it really was. It really is.
I'm not afraid to say that.
Yeah. No, it was a endearing, heartwarming movie, man. And not only that, but it was funny.
Yeah.
With this here, you know, we brought the gang back pretty much for this new version of it. All the ones you've seen, like I said, we got these new versions of Tigger, Eeyore, Kanga and Roo, Rabbit. What is his name? I forgot his name. Rabbit.
His name's Rabbit.
Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. As you can see, it changed so much to be a little dirty, which is fine, man, because I think they caught for a while the sweet spot of the books and what the Disney movies did.
Yeah, they look more like they do from the original books, but the voices are all directly from the cartoon.
Exactly, the voices and personalities. And I got to tell you something. Beginning of this movie, I love just how dignified it was. The movie started out being told like it was a drama. It's directed like a drama.
Yeah, it is.
It's you know, it's still funny. It's still a family film. It has all these CG characters here, but it keeps its dignity by not being loud, by not being goofy, and they direct these characters like humans. Like if you look here, like this is second unit directing for a CG character. Pooh rubbing his hands over the blades of grass and bushes, and the cinematography is beautiful too while they're doing it. I was like, man, you know, you're treating these like you should. You're treating these characters like real human beings.
You're right.
God.
You're right. The way it's filmed like that, it makes those characters like we're watching the trailer. I was like, I don't know, man. They look creepy. Here, it's done in such a way where it makes them so believable that I was like, you know, this is actually really nice. I'm digging this look. Every character you can tell is his collection of assorted stuffed animals that weren't all made by the same person.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of attention to detail as far as the artistic direction goes here. Christoper Robin and Winnie the Pooh, they made me tear up, man, because Pooh, he just feels genuine. When at the beginning of this, when Christoper Robin tells him, and I'm not spoiling anything for you. This is the first 15 minutes of the movie. When Christoper Robin tells him, like, look, I'm growing up. I got to go to boarding school. I got to leave the 100-acre wood in the gang. I'm really gonna miss you guys, and you're gonna have to get on. You're gonna have to get on without me. Pooh doesn't break down. Oh Lord, Christopher, don't go. Oh shit. Well, you know, but
I was married now.
but what he does is
because you feel like he almost doesn't quite understand what's being told to him.
He acts like he's got a little bit of Asperger's going on, but he does. But he's cool with it.
Yeah, he is cool with it.
He's very reasonable. He's like, I feel sad, but you do what you have to do, Chris. And the emotion on his face and two little beady eyes is like you can read the sadness in his face, but they don't want, they don't milk it for melodrama. You read it. You do the work. You're smart enough.
And then you feel like he pulled Pooh aside to say, like, listen, I know I can talk to you, and you break it to the others.
Yeah. Or maybe he was cool because he was hungover, because at the beginning of the movie, those animals, they had a party and they got fucked up.
Yeah. They did. You're like, I want some of that honey.
Yeah. Somebody put something in that. I don't even know if that was honey, man.
Right. Yeah, we got a big going away party for you.
Yeah.
With honey and roofies.
Yeah, that's what they called it.
I mean, they were all knocked out and hungover. Yeah, Pooh might have been like, hey, you do what you got to do, and I'm going back to bed, man. Even the opening credits are wonderful.
Oh yeah, they are.
The opening credits are so wonderful because they're showing you the history of Christoper Robin post Pooh, where he has to move on, and they don't want to give you big long dramatic story with that. They know you want to get onto the bear and all his friends and whatnot, but they give you the story of what his life is like leading up to where we are now. And they do it in illustration form. Like it's a children's novel with illustrations, and they illustrate parts of his life with those pages that go into, like, they dissolve into live action. It's a really creative way to, like, give his story. Mm-hmm. It was I'm looking at the movie at that point. I'm sitting up there, I'm tearing up. I really am. I'm saying this right here, one of the best movies of the year.
Oh, wow.
But with the direction that they had, and the artistic direction that they had, and just the emotional feelings that were tearing me up in the first 15 minutes, I'm like, yeah, man, this is pretty awesome. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was really digging it in that first 15 minutes. Yeah, much like you are.
Oh, I don't know. Martin feel the same way I do because I was.
See, I know you Negroes. See, that's try. I know you Negroes, man. See, that's all
Man,
right.
look,
I wish I could have sustained those good feelings.
No,
all the
you're
way through.
breaking my
Man,
heart.
let me tell you something, Billy. I don't know how he feels because I don't want to say nothing because I tried to be nice in the lobby when people talk to me because the movie was doing things with dignity and they weren't making it the goofy family film that I thought it could probably go to. And then this son of a bitch comes in, the boss. And when the boss comes in, bumbling, knocking shit over. I mean, they even bring in silly ass sound effects. He's putting his hand on something.
Yeah,
He's constantly leaning on things and knocking them down.
He's knocking shit over
and not doing it again and again and again.
Yeah, got that British asshole thing going. Robin, Christoper Robin, you're going to work this weekend. Do you want to?
Robin?
Making him sound like Bob Cratchit.
Yeah. No, it's British slapstick.
It really is. And when he comes in with the bungling don't go away. The bumbling is contagious. It don't go away. In fact, it spreads to all the other parts of the movie. Doing all those goofy faces, those goofy ass British faces. Christopher.
Mark what?
Mark Gatiss. I'm not saying the actor's bad, but it's a goofy ass character
and everything else. But yeah,
and
I don't think it's his fault.
And at this point, being that he brought in his goofiness and it did not go away, this turned into the goofy family film that I thought that they were avoiding for the first 15 minutes.
I didn't think it did that until later, but the movie's not consistent in its tone. Because
No.
you're right. Because how it starts out, it is that, man, this is such a dignified, beautiful film. Yeah, I feel like almost from the very beginning when Ewan McGregor comes on as the older Christoper Robin, it started doing things that I wasn't too keen on.
Like what?
All right. One, I know you're going to guess what I'm going to say.
Okay, can I guess?
Go ahead.
Let me see. Let me see if I can. I know what it is because I finally said I know what he's talking about now.
I want to know. I don't know.
And because it made me mad. And I'm sorry. I know this is just a movie. I know they're trying to talk about family is everything, but this man is told by his boss. He said, I'm putting this on you. You got 2 days to come up with something to keep this company from going under.
Never heard that before.
You gonna be responsible for all these people getting laid off.
Yeah.
And he goes home and tells his family and his wife, who's played by Hayley Atwell, she's like,
sure is.
but we were going to the country this weekend. I'm like, okay, do you not know that people are dependent on me?
Thank you.
Do you not know that Martin is watching this movie?
And
he hates that shit.
Because usually I don't get mad. I like
Bitch,
Martin,
I have to work.
Yes, but this is one time because usually it's people who are workaholics in movies.
Right.
But in this movie, it's like he has people's lives in his hand, and it's not his fault. And the family's like, "Oh, you're missing our valuable time now." And it's like, "Yeah, we ain't gonna be fucking working either. We ain't gonna have.
We're not gonna have a place to live.
We ain't gonna have
your precious country house. That's gonna be gone.
You talking about going out to the woods and hanging out there? We're gonna be living out there.
It's gonna be in 100-acre woods.
Yeah.
The daughter's all, well, Daddy, summer's almost over. You aren't gonna play with me. And I'm like, shit, your mom's here. She can play with you. But his wife throws some serious shade at him. Like, she's threatening divorce. Like, they go out there without him, and she's all like, really? Well, maybe we're gonna stay here a little longer. It's like, yeah, we see this all the time where the family's getting on the dad because he's working, even though that's what's providing this fancy lifestyle they got. But this took it to another level where he's told it's up to you to figure out how to cut costs or we're going to fire all these people in this company.
I could understand if he just loved to work. So that's usually one thing Martin and I getting conflict sometimes. It's like, Martin, but he got to work, you know what I mean? He's just, because he got to provide for his family. Martin like, no, it ain't like that. No, his family could leave him alone, And I get it. I get it. But usually that guy, to Martin's credit, is a workaholic.
Yeah. I'm usually arguing for the guy.
He's telling her, like, I have to do this or the company's going down. They put that responsibility on me or else I'm not going to have a job either. And she's standing there talking about his ass, taking jabs at him about working. And she's got a paintbrush in her hand.
Yeah.
Where she's just been doing hobbies. And he out there working his ass off, and they can't sacrifice 2 days. Like, they can't move to the next weekend.
Yeah, you don't see how miserable I am.
You think I want to do this?
Yeah, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, I want to be out in the
I'd
woods.
love to be painting
Yeah.
and making cakes with y'all.
Yeah, I want to be out in the woods. I want to be out in the woods doing LSD and hanging out with the imaginary animals.
Exactly.
When he meets up with Pooh, the way that went down, and him even going back to the 100-acre woods, it honestly, it felt so true to me that, oh, well, he's having a psychotic break. And this is all about an existential crisis. And within that, it worked. Now, I thought it dragged on too long and got kind of dull when they were out there. And I spent the whole time thinking, man, it's not that Ewan McGregor's a bad actor, not at all, but I don't think he's right for this part. I felt like you needed somebody with more naturally comedic chops who can hang with these animals and bring something to the table. He was just kind of there to react.
You know what? I agree with you to a certain point. I probably didn't mind him as much because Ewan McGregor is, in this movie, he's pretty much the straight guy. But he also is given the task of doing slapstick. And so I think he found a good enough balance to where he was
okay.
It didn't bother me. I was like, it's a hard thing to do what he has to do in this movie. Especially when you consider that he's acting against nothing.
Right.
But I also thought that the scenes between when he was with Winnie the Pooh, it worked with him being the straight man and also being with a character who's the comedic character, but not being obnoxious. He's not Roger Rabbit.
No. He's not obnoxious. And Pooh has this sly, very sly, understated sense of humor.
Yeah.
When he's like, "Oh, you brainless bear," and then later like, "Oh shit, you were right."
Yeah,
No, I'm just a brainless bear. Oh man, I didn't mean it.
No, and Pooh was
you
really,
said that shit.
I know,
though, right?
and Pooh's really,
I forgot about that.
oh yeah,
Oh, bother.
yeah, and Pooh's really cool about it. It's just nice having a level-headed animated character being up against a straight man where they're not flustering him all the time.
It absolutely is.
You can't just keep saying hello to people. People can't see you moving and talking.
But why?
Because
Because the movie didn't write an explanation for it. That's why.
Because God damn it, why?
Because the screenwriters were lazy and they didn't write that shit.
you're different.
No, this is very confusing. It may be the hunger.
For human flesh.
Wait, can the other people see and talk?
Yes.
That's.
I don't. No spoilers. I'm not
I
trying to do that.
don't know if it's a spoiler or not. It's just that at first it seemed like it's just him, and then working as him having a psychotic break while going through his existential crisis. I thought it worked, but what often happens with so many of these movies, not all of them, is that when they bring the characters to civilization and they're running around having antics, and people see them.
Oh, so the Smurfs kind of thing. And
Okay. I'm not gonna put it in that realm.
Well, no. I just meant
those,
the kind of
those
concept.
same mechanics.
Conceptually,
yeah,
I mean,
conceptually.
Listen,
you know,
man,
remember those
York
Casper
or-
the Ghost cartoons?
Yeah.
We're in London,
A ghost.
It's the stereotype. It's the wacky cartoon fish out of water story.
Wacky.
Right.
That's the word.
It went from being dignified to wacky, and I'm sorry, but part of that is not explaining at all how these characters come to life.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, shit. This needs some explaining because you got talking animals and stuffed animals that just come to life with no explanation. Somebody need to explain what kind of dark forces this man is playing with, what demon he's fucking around with that's making animals get up and talk. At first, it did feel like a guy who was having a nervous breakdown, and it could be played for a family film. A guy who's so stressed, and it gave all the ingredients for
it
that.
was set up
he goes
for that.
back to
He's stressed out. He's getting things from his wife, and of course, he's a guy that used to talk to stuffed animals. Why should it not come back in some sort of psychotic episode?
Sure.
But pull back enough for the family to teach you a lesson about being in touch with your childhood and also valuing your spare time with the ones you love. But because they don't do that and they just let these characters just run rampant through the city, it gets weird.
I don't know how I do it.
You must be Christoper Robin's wife. Ha! How do you do?
My bum hurts.
She's like, I done married a motherfucker from Hogwarts.
Like, you see her brain crack in that scene.
Right. She's like, fuck, I married a wizard.
more so like she's like, what the fuck did he put in my drink?
Like, his
My
craziness
paint.
is making me crazy now. Bringing them out into the real world like you see them doing here, just pulls away some of the sentimentality. This is a guy that has to embrace his childhood again in a sort of in a crazy way in order to get what's wrong with his life. And imagine if that is something that, once again, now that he's learned the lesson, but imagine how moving that could have been for him to have to say goodbye again if they taught him that lesson.
Right.
Even though they're imaginary. They did not need to be real. They did not have to, especially with no explanation for it.
Man, there's so many scenes of this. Mark Forster, the director, it's like, man, this guy.
Mark Forster?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Mark Forster did the Finding Neverland, right?
Yes, he did.
And did he do a zombie movie?
He did World War Z.
World War Z.
And Quantum of Solace. And
I don't
know, there's a bunch of other stuff I saw on the list.
And I'll tell you, man, I really like the actors. Hayley Atwell, I like. And I think she's underused, but she really did put into
But you know, there was like when they show it, this 2 people who did the story and 3 other people who did the script, and it was like he directed his ass off to try to make a weak script not seem like it was, but ultimately it is a weak script.
Yeah, the little girl, I think her name is Bronte Carmichael, but she wasn't bratty. Now she knew how to put a guilt trip on Daddy. That look right there. I mean, she ain't saying nothing. She's like, well, you know, go out and do what you got to do. I'll just be here, not know who my father really is. You know, while you working, you'll just be missing my childhood.
You know? Like she was playing with her dolls, like, well, Miss Sally, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
You know, my father's been gone for a whole 6 hours. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
In 2018, we had another talking CG bear movie
that kicked this movie's ass.
Yeah, Paddington 2. Paddington 2 did everything that this movie was trying to do, but did it so much better. They explained why the bear talks. All the characters felt real. All the antics felt like they were part of the story.
Wow. You know what? I was so thinking I was the only one who felt this way coming out.
No.
Because people clapped in the theater, and I was like, all right, they've fallen under the magic, and I wish I could be me. But I spent the whole time past that first 15 minutes thinking, man, this is just reminding me of 2 other movies, the Goodbye Christopher Robin and Paddington 2, that I liked so much better than this one.
Yep.
Like those stuck to what they were about.
And you know, man, you can't pay attention to people laughing in the theater, because there was one laughing behind me. She was Winnie the Pooh's biggest fan in there.
Yeah.
It was almost.
It's a screening, man.
Yeah,
people
man.
Laugh and clap.
It was a critic screening, but they said, hey, if you want to bring family or friends.
It's the same thing.
She was a Winnie the Pooh. What do you call those
enthusiast?
people? No, hell no. That's a nice way of putting it. Groupie. She was a Winnie the Pooh.
All right, excuse me.
Groupie.
Was she waiting for him backstage?
She was. If Winnie the Pooh would have,
passes.
Oh yeah,
with a badge on.
If Winnie the Pooh would have thrown her a key to his hotel room, she wouldn't have had sex with her.
through his shirt and some honey.
Yeah. It was me and this dude sitting next to me. We took our turns just looking back like, who the fuck is this?
She would have fucked Eeyore just to get to him.
Yeah.
With his depressing ass.
Oh, that ending was horrible.
Oh man, y'all killing. You guys are killing me, man. I wanted to see
dude,
this.
the ending. I mean, like as much as the movie was trying to make sense, somewhat, it did less and less. But the ending, I was like, are you fucking kidding? Everybody, this whole company would be shut down by the end of the week going by this.
Yeah, it's one of those moments. I hate that in movies where up until the last minute when they realize that, oh shit, we got to wrap this up. The hero all of a sudden he says,
"Oh wait, I have an epiphany."
Aha! And they actually use the words in here. He says, "Wait a minute, I've got it."
Oh shit,
honey, you're a genius.
And it's like, wow. And the plan that they have, of course, is the dumbest thing you've ever heard.
It's the dumbest thing.
It's insulting. Even for a kid's movie. I'm sorry. Even for a talking bear movie. I'm sorry.
Because you don't want to teach your kids bad economics like that.
No. This is stupid. No. I tried to ride off those first 15 minutes for a long time. Because I was trying to be nice, man. I was trying to be cool, and I just by the time they got to that by George, I think I've got it moment. I was like, I know kids.
By Jove, nigga.
By Jove. No, they use both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck him too. Job and George.
By David, I think I got it. By Jerome, I think I got it.
they're not asking for too much with this film, except for what the kids were getting out of from the screen that I saw. And I know enough to look at it and say, all right, don't come at the movie too hard, because this is a family film that will amuse its target audience. I give it a rental. You know, a pretty all right rental.
I would throw in some praise for the new voice actors. So Jim Cummings isn't doing everything, especially Brad Garrett as Eeyore. I thought he did a great job.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
Chris O'Dowd as Tigger.
Chris O'Dowd is Tigger?
Yeah. For families, and if you already got your Winnie the Pooh Jones on, and you're wanting to see it, and you've been loving Pooh, it's probably not going to let you down. It'll give you what you want. If I didn't already love Winnie the Pooh, what would this movie mean to me?
Yeah.
It'd be a rental.
Okay. All right then. So there you go. Not a bad rental. I mean, I think.
I would even say a high rental.
Yeah, high rental. Yeah, and those characters are cute. I wish they had just put them in a better context.
A better movie. Yeah, because I was liking them.
Yeah, I really was too. That design is amazing. I will tell you that to the animators and to the designers of these characters and the art direction that goes in, they get a lot of emotion at those little dead eyes.
They really do.
Yeah, those little dots that they have. It's a very inspired art direction to go to and design to go to with those characters. Jake, what'd you think, man?
I think the film is overhyped, to be honest with you. I know many people who were excited to see it. We're like, oh, I can't wait to cry during this. And I'm like, it looks okay. Performances, Ewan McGregor, I think, is decent as Christoper Robin. I think the girl, I don't know her name, who plays the daughter, I think she's great. The voice actors obviously are good. Hayley Atwell, she's a bit wasted in this. I really don't like her character. The whole, you're not spending enough time with family. I'm like, bitch, who pays the bills? Do you? Or
he really has learned from us.
I like the cinematography. It's beautiful. The shots with, you're right, with Pooh's hands, or there's a great shot with Rabbit's ears and Owl's eyes when they're looking for Christoper Robin. There's a whole section of this where it's just Christoper Robin and Winnie the Pooh and the gang just walking around the area. And I'm like, dude, how long are you going to focus on this? I'm kind of bored by this already.
It's kind of filler, man.
Yeah, and it's a short movie.
Yeah.
I like the direction a lot. I think Mark Forster is a very good director. It's just a shame he has this mediocre script to work with, because I can see he's trying to do his best here. I thought this was going to be okay, and at the end of the day, I walked out and said, yeah, it's okay. If I had to go see this again, like if a friend said, oh, can we go see Christoper Robin? I'd say, yeah, I'd go at a low matinee.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Matinee.
I did not know you were going to land on that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's you say the matinees because of your expectations.
Yeah, I didn't have high expectations. I wasn't like, oh my God, I can't wait to see this. I was just like, yeah, looks fine.
Okay. And maybe that does have something to do with it, because Martin has said he's a Winnie the Pooh fan.
Yeah, but I didn't have high expectations.
Yeah, and you know what?
It looked unnecessary to me.
Yeah, yeah. And even I was like, I could see potential for this being one of the better live action remakes, but they did not seize it. If they had made his ass crazy, you know what I'm saying?
That ending was so crazy.
Yeah.
It was so cliched, man.
Yeah.
If they had made him mentally ill in a Disney-fied sort of way,
And it could have been just that he had that episode just for that weekend, and then came back to the center.
Yeah, before he went out and killed people or something.